As some people would know, before I got deplatformed on Facebook, I made some choices on books to read in Shawwal of 1440. And I will have more to say about these books at another time, but they are not easy to handle. So, I can't see whether or not there's any chat room, but okay. As some would have known, on Facebook, before my terms of service violation-free deplatforming, I chose Jason King's Postmodern Satanism, the Epistles of Lord Satan, an expression of theistic Satanism by Nargargole Shlod, and Ashemaogha, Becoming Ahriman, Volume 1 by Dastur, Adam Daniels, of the Dakhma of Angra Mainyu, to fill this month's study of Satanism and Demonolatry. Now, Adam Daniels, he's had like a stroke or something. What happened to the guy? I don't know if he's going to continue his work. Nargargole said he's writing another book and possibly switching to other things, but I haven't heard of him since November. Jason King made a video within the past week, so who knows? Maybe we'll have him on before this channel is no longer allowed to live stream starting next month, unless we get more subscribers. To fill this month's study of Satanism and Demonology, we could see Adam Daniels' book in terms of science, Nargargole Shlod's in terms of art, and Jason King 666's in terms of philosophy. In terms of most problematic in its claims and methods, to least, the order would be Ashemaogha, the Epistles of Lord Satan, and Postmodern Satanism. Of course, the organization of Postmodern Satanism is so difficult in trying to remember where things are, unless you've, no table of contents, you don't know what page you are, you don't know when the font's going to change, so, but, that's little compared to, but anyways, in terms of as an aid to understanding the Dakhma of Mainyu, Becoming Ahriman certainly helps in laying down a version of personal, Enochian, Persian, and Hindu-based mythology in a format that probably leads to the widest selection of ritual and studies, but postmodern Satanism can be said to imply what can be used over a much more global or wider variety of psychological type driven scale. Could have done better with that, but Jason King 666 claims the least level of spiritual authority for his work and would lead a person to question the psychic and spiritual claims even made therein the most, but it provokes the greatest intellectual sense of authority for what it says. I've been presenting the interpretations, summaries, and experiences of Nargargole Shlod's videos on his now deleted YouTube channel, because he was deplatformed for breaking the rules. And the Epistles of Lord Satan, an expression of theistic Satanism, edited by Nargargole Shlod and Silver Wolf, is even more of what you would expect from his public videos than Jason King 666. But he is much more organized and detailed than some of the material might lead one to expect. Jason King 666 sets out to intentionally make a book unlike others in its organization, but even a non-genius might be better served in either theism or atheism to allow an internal response by review are an external response to the material and practice are in a reactionary way. Becoming Ahriman botches and changes Enochian, Avestan, and other material instead of just using it to work out reasons and methods for the Dakhma of Angra Mainyu. A person might see the claims of Nargargole Shlod as directly inspired by and receiving revelation from Satan might be seen as the madness and the appearance of devils, but there are reasons why a person might look to Adam Daniels as possibly dishonest on the base of self-justification and self-aggrandizement. Jason King makes conclusions that I was not thinking of, and ones I do not agree with, but even a lesser connection to history leaves that as who to regard first in those terms and science. The art of religion or spirituality, as some people might prefer to call it, side of magic, seems to be the most brought out by Nargargole Shlod, and his work might be the easiest to base lives upon, despite the potential lifetime of learning and practice detailed in Ashemaogha. Jason King's work might have more potential, though. In my future and current commentaries, I mean no disrespect, and would hope that these three authors would appear on my channel to help me and my audience gain in their understanding of their opinions and experiences. I just meant to draw out some precursory understandings and questions that might be raised by their opposition. Any of these texts should add to the understanding of demonology and Satanism among the readers. There is benefit that Jason King 666, Nargargole Shlod, and Adam Daniels have not been made the heads of large churches that would have blurred their teachings in conservatism and fanaticism, rather than individualism and embrace of the personal adversarial aspect of one's own self. And let's see if okay. So the influences of Buddhism and exposure to different occult strains is obvious here. Nargargole tried to do a little bit of everything, I think, but it's much more rational than some of the wild videos that you would say. That is not to say there's not a cosmology that you can't, and some things that may disturb people, but there's some surprises. You kind of understand some of what went on in the origins, but